Welcome to Hardly, where books turn into 3 stories, refreshing your knowledge in minutes. Today, we study together the book Noise, a Flaw in Human Judgment, in which we probe into how hidden variability in human judgment leads to widespread inefficiencies, errors, and injustice. Daniel Kahneman is an economist and psychologist. Cass R. Sunstein is a legal scholar, and Olivier Sibony is a research fellow at Oxford University. Don't go away. Hardly, the editor, will be right back with the story. Let me take you through 3 stories that perfectly illustrate the unpredictable and often detrimental impact of hidden variability in human judgment. The first story comes from the world of criminal justice. Imagine a man convicted of a minor crime, let's say shoplifting. He stands before one judge and receives a sentence of 6 months in jail. Now, imagine another man in a different court, but with a similar background and the same offense, who receives probation instead of jail time. The stark difference in these outcomes isn't due to the crime, but rather the variability in the judge's decisions. In one striking example, 2 men were convicted for cashing counterfeit checks of similar amounts, yet one was sentenced to 15 years, while the other got only 30 days. The inconsistency is startling, but it's also widespread. Absence of consensus was the norm, and the variations across punishments were astounding, the book tells us. Such stories reveal that our justice system, which we trust to be fair and impartial, can be alarmingly inconsistent, resulting in a system where similar crimes can lead to vastly different fates, simply due to the random assignment of judges. The second story takes us to the business of insurance, where hidden variability doesn't just lead to unfair outcomes, but can cost companies millions. Picture an insurance firm where underwriters are tasked with setting premiums for clients. In theory, premiums should be fairly consistent across the board, reflecting a systematic approach to risk. But a noise audit in one such firm revealed something surprising. When 2 different underwriters were asked to evaluate the same case, their estimates varied by as much as 55%. For instance, while one underwriter might quote $9,500 for a policy, another might set the price at $16,700. The sheer variability was costing the company dearly, as some clients were overcharged and others were undercharged, leading to lost business or unprofitable deals. It's a classic case of how hidden variability in human judgment can directly impact the bottom line, creating inefficiencies that are both costly and avoidable. The third story is from the realm of asylum decisions in the United States. Imagine fleeing persecution in your home country, seeking safety and a new start. Your fate, however, depends not on the merits of your case, but on which judge hears it. One study revealed that the likelihood of being granted asylum varied dramatically depending on the judge, with one judge admitting only 5% of applicants, while another admitted 88%. This refugee roulette, as it's been called, highlights a deeply troubling aspect of human judgment: its inherent unpredictability. For those seeking asylum, this variability isn't just an inconvenience. It's a matter of life and death. The book chillingly states, whether an asylum seeker will be admitted into the United States depends on something like a lottery, underscoring how even life-altering decisions can be subject to the whims of individual judgment. These stories make one thing clear: hidden variability in human judgment is not just an abstract concept, but a real and pervasive problem that leads to significant inefficiencies, errors, and, most importantly, injustice. When we rely on human judgment, we inherently introduce noise, random fluctuations that lead to inconsistent outcomes. Whether it's a judge deciding a sentence, an underwriter setting a premium, or a judge determining someone's fate in an asylum hearing, this noise can have profound consequences. The root of the problem lies in the fact that human judgment is not as reliable or consistent as we like to believe. People's decisions are influenced by a host of factors: mood, time of day, the way information is presented, even the weather. As a result, different people, or even the same person at different times, can come to very different conclusions when faced with the same information. This is the hidden variability that plagues our systems and processes, leading to outcomes that are not just inefficient, but often grossly unfair. But recognizing the problem is only the first step. The real challenge lies in addressing it. One of the key takeaways from these stories is the importance of introducing structure and standardization into decision-making processes. By minimizing the scope for personal judgment and introducing more objective criteria, we can reduce the noise in our systems and make outcomes more consistent and fair. This isn't about eliminating human judgment altogether, but about making it more reliable and less prone to the random variability that currently plagues it. As the editor of Hardly, understanding these stories equips us to advocate for systems that minimize noise, ensuring fairer, more consistent outcomes in the future. In reflecting on how hidden variability in human judgment leads to widespread inefficiencies, errors, and injustice, it's crucial to consider another striking example that emphasizes this point. Imagine the world of medical diagnosis, where consistency could mean the difference between life and death. In a study, different doctors were asked to diagnose patients with the same symptoms. The results were shocking. Doctors often disagreed on the diagnosis, even when presented with identical cases. For instance, in the diagnosis of skin cancer, some doctors were more likely to identify a lesion as cancerous, while others might dismiss it as benign. This variability isn't just about differing opinions. It's about the inherent noise in human judgment. The book notes, "Medicine is noisy," illustrating how this hidden variability can lead to misdiagnoses, unnecessary treatments, or worse, missed life-threatening conditions. This story reaffirms the key point. Wherever human judgment is involved, noise is a persistent problem. Whether in the justice system, insurance industry, or healthcare, the inconsistencies introduced by human variability have far-reaching consequences. It highlights the importance of recognizing and addressing this issue to create fairer, more reliable systems. As the editor of Hardly, recognizing these patterns empowers us to push for systematic changes that reduce noise, ultimately leading to a more just and efficient world.